What is up, everybody? We're back for another Dudes Who Bet Daily. I've got Papa Dude. I've got Magic along with us today. We got a big show today, fellas. Before we get to it, Papa Dude, I want to ask you about the game last night, the Eagles and the Vikings. The Vikings covered for the majority of people that bet it before yesterday. It was 7 or 7.5. It did fall to 6. But what were your thoughts on the game last night, Eagles and Vikings?
Oh, I thought it was a good game. It kept my interest. I stayed awake. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't like those Prime Video games because I can't change channels.
It
You know
sucks.
what I mean?
I agree.
It takes forever to get to the Prime Video. And then I'm a channel surfer. Commercials, I can't sit there. I hate those Prime Video games. So I finally put the Prime Video on my computer.
Uh-huh.
So that was fine. Then I could switch channels on the TV. So I had two things going on. So I solved that problem last night by just putting the Prime Video on my computer, which worked good because Sandy didn't want to watch the game anyway. So
you are right. You are right about that because Navy and Memphis they were in a really good game.
Yeah.
And so they're on your regular whatever cable you have, YouTube TV, regular cable.
Yeah.
And then you got the Prime Video game with the NFL game. And if you're a college football guy like we are, like I wanted to see the end of that Navy or a lot of that Navy Memphis game.
Absolutely.
And you had to exit Prime, get on the YouTube, get on that, then go back. Yeah, it sucked.
Too much trouble for me, especially. But thought it was a good game. Again, the Eagles won. That's all that's important. I don't think they look necessarily great, but they won. I thought Hurts made some really good throws. He made a couple of really good throws. That one touchdown pass when he was getting hit was a great indication of what he's all about. I don't think he's running the ball real well, but they look a little shaky, but they're 2-0, and that's all that matters. And the Vikings, unfortunately, are 0-2, and it's tough to come back from that.
Magic, any comments on Jalen Hurts running the ball? No.
So close, and yet so far. I should have bet the Tigers, that stupid Tigers bet that was plus money that we talked about in the game. That should have been my best bet because that cash. This one, whatever.
That's what happens sometimes on the show. Yeah, that's what happens. All right, let's get to it. Let's get to today here. Big day coming up. We got 3 baseball games we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about a race at Belmont at the Big A again, and then we'll talk about our 3 best bets. We talked about this series yesterday on the show. We'll kick it off with this. The Rays are minus 135 today at Baltimore, total sitting at 8.5. The Rays picked up a win as a plus money team last night in Baltimore. Now they're the favorites, Papa Dude. What do you think? Rays Baltimore today.
Well, I'm like Magic. I'm kicking my butt that I didn't take the Rays at plus money. And Aaron, you are the only one that did of us two, I believe. And, they're one of the best teams in baseball. You should take them at plus money. So it's reverse psychology today. You take Baltimore instead of the Rays today, even though the Rays do have a little bit of a pitching advantage, I think. This is a really good series. And if the Rays win, they're tied. These two teams will be tied for the division lead. So huge game tonight in Baltimore. If I was going to bet it, I'd take the Orioles because I think they're really good. And Tampa won last night, so I think Baltimore might come back and get them today.
Jack Flaherty on the mound against Baltimore against Zach Eflin for the Rays. Magic, where are you going in this one?
Give me the Rays first 5 minus a half a point. You can get plus 100 on that one. I like the fact that Zach Eflin's on the mound. Last time he faced the Orioles, 2 hits in 7 innings for a victory at home. Facing Jack Flaherty, who he's only completed 5 innings once in his last 4 games. He hasn't had a victory since August 3rd. I think he's struggling a little bit. I think you can definitely catch the Rays with plus money, plus 100 at minus a half for the first 5.
Flaherty definitely won. We know well here in Missouri because he was with the Cardinals for a few years. This year, kind of been a thing. He's a bum most games. There are a few games where he'll come out and look like the guy that kind of the Cardinals thought he would be, but overall, he's been very inconsistent. I'm going to go Tampa minus 135. I'll stick with the Rays again today. I like Zach Eflin a lot. I like to watch him pitch. He's a solid pitcher. So give me the Rays again. I'll stay on their bandwagon. again tonight. Okay, another big game coming up. The Cubs are in Arizona this weekend. What a huge game, or what a huge series, I should say, for this wild card position in the NL. Cubs are minus 140, so another another road favorite here, Papa Dude, taking on the Diamondbacks. Who you got in this one?
Everything's in the Cubs' favor tonight. They've got the pitching matchup. They got their best pitcher. However, they're coming off 2 terrible performances in Colorado. But the Mets took care of the Diamondbacks too. So you got to go with the pitching matchup tonight. Cubs at a short price. I got to go with the Cubs.
Magic, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree with Papa. Go with the Cubs. Fat Man, really not a good 3 homers and a no decision against the Cubs on Sunday. Not a good effort for the Fat Man.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a tough matchup tonight with Steele on the mound for the Cubs. One thing I'll say, the Cubs lost 2 out of 3 in Colorado. We talked about that a little bit. Those were games too they should not have lost, obviously, but the advantage of Steele versus the Fat Man, as Magic says, it's pretty significant enough to think even though the Cubs are minus 140, I'm going to back them. I think the Cubs get it done tonight and get the victory. And boy, it'd be a big victory if they do. So we'll see what happens. That is a huge series out there. If you like baseball, Cubs Diamondback series, that's a big one. Another series that's going to be a really good one, featuring really 2 good teams out west, Papa Dude. Let's talk about Dodgers and the Seattle Mariners. Dodgers in town tonight in Seattle, minus 115. It's Miller for the Dodgers. Kirby, our guy who's struggling lately, Papa Dude, but it's been our guy for a lot of the year for Seattle. Who you got here?
Oh, I stay completely away from this one. I like the Mariners tonight in this one. Huge game for Seattle. The Dodgers have it sewed up. I mean, they don't have anything to worry about. They may have an outside chance to catch the Braves for the best record in the National League, but it's not probably going to happen. The Braves would have to collapse. So I like the Mariners simply because you get a little bit better price on them. It's tough to bet against the Dodgers, though. It really is.
Magic?
Dodgers first 5 minus a half point plus 114. Kirby's not doing well right now. Did you see the other day he after he gave up that home run in the was against the Rays? He said that he shouldn't have been out there for the 7th inning. He's like, I was at 90 pitches. I shouldn't have been out there. It's not my fault that I have to give up the home run. He apologized the next day, but still, I think what that showed was immaturity on his standpoint, where he was like, I was just mad and upset that we lost and it was my fault, and that's what I did. But that kind of immaturity against the Dodgers team when it's mid-September, this is not the time to make those mistakes. I think Bobby Miller, that rookie, he's got some cojones on him. So I'll take the Dodgers minus a half a point for the first 5.
You just changed my mind, Magic.
Well, I think it shows the mindset and kind of maybe why Kirby, this is not the only reason, but why he's struggling. And I think Magic kind of alluded to it. Bigger games, tougher games, more pressure. And Kirby's kind of not been what he was in, say, May, June, even in July. I think that's a big part of it, and it's a learning experience, right? That being said, I think Magic's bet is a great one. He stole it from me, Magic. I was going to mention the first 5 because you got Kirby who's struggling against Miller, who's just kind of a stud. He's been really good this year, and a kid that's fun to watch. He's really fun to watch pitch. And so I'm going to go the Dodgers in the first 5 as well. I would take the Dodgers full game. But once you get into the bullpens, you never really know. I think Kirby pitches well enough to keep it close. So we'll see. But I'm leaning Dodgers in this one as well. All right, boys, race of the day. We're going to go back to Belmont at the Big A. Had a chalky winner in the race we talked about yesterday. I believe Papa Dude did have the winner of that one. But we go here to the Winter Memories Stakes. Race 8 on the card, like I said, on the turf today. At Belmont at the Big A, been pretty good weather. 1 mile. All right. No, let's go Magic. Magic, you go first for the race. Who do you like?
It got interesting with some of the scratches here. I like the 6. Sweet Lou's got aces at a price at 8-1 here. First time for Grand Motion, but this is a filly that has shown that she raced twice over this course last year, and she showed that she really liked it. She broke her maiden in a stakes race against 2-year-olds going gate to wire, which was pretty impressive. She was second back in the spring in a 6 furlong allowance, but this mile distance is good for her. And last out at Belmont in that turf mile allowance, she got the win by a neck. And I think that was important because it showed she can sit off the pace and get the win. with the pace setup here, you know, I did want to play the 5 silver skillet because I think she's got a good chance to get a nice front running trip. But I don't trust what the hell Rosario is going to do. Like, if I don't know what the hell the jockey's going to do on there and can't trust it, not a fan of playing silver skillet. It will be a shorter price here. So yeah, I'll go with the Sweet Lou's Got Aces at 8-1. But I think there's a lot of price plays you could go with here, guys.
Yeah, it seems to be a pretty wide open race, Papa Dude. Where are you going with this one?
Okay, well, this is a toughie again. I'm going to start calling you Mike Somich, I think, throwing these out here. I like the 1, the 7, and the 8. I like Liguria, Soviet Express, and tax implications. I went with the 8, and I'm looking at consistency. Has been running really well, just hasn't quite been able to win, but it's been in really good races. Broke the maiden at Monmouth, then came back with a second in 120K stakes, 150K stakes, second by 3/4. Then in a grade 3, almost got there. Ran in the Lake Placid last time, a grade 2, was wide almost the whole way. Got bumped at the 8th pole. Just couldn't, lost by 2 1/4, finished 4th. I just think this horse could get the good trip today and win. So I like the 8 tax implications.
I think both those picks are pretty good. Sweet Lou's Got Aces for Magic there, a horse changing over the motion barn, always has shown talent. Tax implications, I thought it was a really good point. The Lake Placid was not the trip that horse wanted. Also, the ground that day and really all year at Saratoga just wasn't great. So I wouldn't take a ton of stock into those Saratoga turf races for a lot of those days. That being said, that'll segue over to mine. I like the number 1 Liguria on top here. Last time out was 2-1 in the Lake George, but caught a yielding track. Didn't get a very good trip. Didn't run very well. Just a race where he didn't show up. But you look at the race 2 back, won the Wild Applause here at Belmont Stakes, or here at Belmont Park, I should say, going a mile and won by 3/4 of a length. I think, yes, we are at Aqueduct, but still the turf configuration's pretty similar for this spot. I think she's going to run a much better race today, now back on a firm turf course and back going 1 mile on that firm turf course. So give me the number 1 Liguria. Very tough race, though. Got respect for both your guys' picks. I think they're pretty solid. All right, Magic, let's go to the best bets. And you're going to kick us off today. You're going to Old Reliable. Tell us about it.
Yeah, by the way, Chad Kelly, former Ole Miss quarterback, nephew of Jim Kelly, the Mr. Relevant from 2014, 15, the highest paid player in the CFL, I learned this morning. I did not know that, but he is the quarterback for the Toronto Argonauts, and the way that they are playing, you can see why he is the highest paid player in the league. They lead the league with 35.2 points per game. The only time all season that they haven't gone over 30 points is because Chad Kelly got knocked out very early in the game with an ankle injury. So as long as Mr. Irrelevant from the NFL stays healthy, they should easily cover this. They are first in completion percentage, first in yards per pass attempt, second in efficiency rating. They've only had 15 turnovers, only 10 sacks in the entire season so far that they've given up. I think the Vikings given up more than that in just a couple of games so far. The Alouettes, Montreal, I love them. Sylvain's not on right now, but he knows I love the Montreal Alouettes. They've given up over 40 points per game in their last 3 games. This is like one of those things I'm like, nobody pays attention to this CFL now that the NFL and college football are going. This is just like, wee, play this. So here I am.
All right, I like it. I like how I think Kevin called this the meth of sports betting, the CFL. I don't know about that, but
sometimes you need the fix. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's true.
I like it.
By the way, before you move on, I've started watching The Simpsons from like literally episode 1, season 1, and because I've never seen a lot of these episodes. Somewhere in season 3, I'll have to find the episode and send you the clip. They actually there's like a whole minute-long CFL bit about the Saskatchewan Roughriders and about how they only scored 4 Rouge points the whole season previous. And I was like, that's funny because that's the 1 point you get for the touchback in the end zone. And so I was like, I laughed at it. I was like, There's like 6 people that probably understood that joke, and now I'm number 7. So, anyways, I just remembered that. I need to send you that clip.
Aaron Marshall says he's only here for your WNBA plays.
I almost had one actually, so don't tempt me.
I was gonna say you might stay tuned because you never know what Magic's gonna text me to put on the big board here. So CFL play, that's not that surprising. I mean, that's a normal thing. I get texts about CFL all the time. So. Listen, he always, here's the deal about Magic. He always makes a case. By the time he's done, you're like, I think I'm going to bet that.
Absolutely.
You know, like that day he broke down the Brittany Griner thing. I was like, I think this is a really good bet.
That was incredible.
and this, it's like,
Griner. It
like,
should have catch.
They're definitely scoring 40 tonight after listening to him. So.
Oh God.
Okay,
Anyways.
well, let's go on. I'll do mine because Papa Dude's got he's got a complicated one he's gonna go over today.
Oh no.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back to baseball after getting beat 11-1 yesterday with my best bet. So I don't know how smart this is, but that was embarrassing watching that game yesterday, getting beat 11-1. But anyway, I'm going back to baseball. I'm gonna go the Braves and the Astros money line parlay here, plus 136. Wasn't going to do it until I punched it in and looked at the price. And I thought, boy, plus 136, that's a pretty decent price on this. Braves are in Miami today taking on the Marlins. They've got Elder on the mound. Bryce Elder's been really good. Cueto on the mound for the Marlins. He's not. He's done pretty much, in my opinion. So it seems like logic that the Braves beat the Marlins today in Miami. So give me the Braves to open it up. And then the Astros are in Kansas City against the Royals, and the Astros need to win, right? They have all the motivation in the world. They need to win tonight. They've got Javier on the mound. He's okay. Zach Greinke on the mound for the Royals. Zach Greinke is 1-15 with a 5.47 ERA. I got to think the Astros get it done. So give me Atlanta and the Astros money line here at plus 136. Papa Dude, where are you going?
Well, before I get into that, back to the Chad Kelly thing.
Okay.
Didn't he play at East Mississippi Community College?
Yes.
On Last Chance U. Remember that?
Yep.
What, wasn't he a star there?
Because he got kicked out of Clemson.
Yes,
yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. So by the way, if you guys have never seen Last Chance U on Netflix, watch that. Mm-hmm. That is one of the most incredible shows I've ever seen. I think I've watched that about 4 times. The East Mississippi part.
I would say, let me jump in. The East Mississippi part is good. I didn't love the whole going to Kansas thing.
No.
But
watching that East Mississippi one is classic. It's fantastic. And I have been to Scuba, Mississippi, where that campus is, and there is absolutely nothing in that town. Yep. Nothing. So you need to watch that if you haven't. Last Chance U on Netflix. Anyway, back to my classic bet here today. I have the Astros as well. And when I was doing it and I saw Greinke's record, he has been a solid pitcher over the years. He has had some really good seasons. And how would you like to end up your career with a 1-15 record? He's got to be going through hell. Well, he's probably not, because he's probably making $20 million a year to go 1-15. But he's pitched a little better than that, even though his ERA doesn't show it. What a miserable season he's got to be going through in Kansas City. So I'm with you, Aaron. I think Houston wins. Then I've got the Tigers and the Angels. I had to throw something in there to get some sort of a price. 7 runs is never very many, and I like to go overs on the 7s and then unders on the 10.5s and that kind of stuff. So hopefully these two teams, they're not very good. And hopefully they can score more than 7 tonight and we can get something in.
So I got a comment on the over. Griffin Canning against a Skubal. I mean, how does this not go over? Probably because you're going to need it. But, I mean, this should go over. I mean, Tyreek Skubal's not terrible for the Tigers, but Griffin Canning has not been good. To me, unless the Angels don't score many, I think that's how you lose in this situation. But Canning is not a great.
There's a lot of ways you can lose.
Well, yeah, absolutely. There's many combinations of scores that you're going to be a loser tonight on. But as Kevin so eloquently put it, the Royals probably win on a walk-off grand slam tonight and ruin both the parlays. That's my guess. So.
Oh boy.
All right, let's review the best bets here. We've got myself going with the Astros and Braves plus 136. Magic going to go with Toronto over 30.5 tonight in the CFL. Let's see if Chad Kelly from East Mississippi and from Mississippi gets it done. And then Papa Dude's going Astros on the money line and then going over in the Tigers-Angels game, over 7, I should say, for plus 178. Horrible day yesterday. But a 3-0 day today would be a big bounce back and get us over the negatives. So hopefully we can get it done. All right, before we go, Magic, let's talk about what's going to happen today at 4 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Eastern. What's going on, Magic? Let us know.
Yeah, we're doing a little roundtable discussion. It'll be myself, Papa Dude, Aaron, and Jared, and we're going to just be talking about the state of horse racing. So, like, what's going on now that Saratoga and Del Mar are over. We talk about, not just those tracks and the good things, the bad things, but we can talk about, as far as betting goes, changes that we'd like to see made, things that we think will save, protect horse racing in the future. So just like a little open forum thing, we'll talk about it, but we want to have, like always, we want to have the fan interaction in the chat. So join us for that. It will be structured. I'll be running it. I'll have, we'll have like a timer and different topics and stuff. So it will be moving. It won't just be, 3-4 hours of ramblingness. So we'd love to have you join us if you can live. If not, catch it on the replay, and definitely interact with us in the comment section, because that's what this whole thing is about, is like an open discussion between ourselves, the fans, the bettors, just to kind of, get the dialogue going about things that we can try and do to help fix horse racing.
Yep. Very, very good. Gonna be a good show. I've got a lot of thoughts. So we'll see how that goes. All right, guys. We'll see you right back here for that show. Hope you guys have the good rest of your day. If you don't join us, hope you have a good rest of your week. But yeah, we'll be right back here for that show. It should be a lot of fun. All right, guys. Thanks everybody for watching this. Thanks for everybody watching this morning, and we'll see you back this evening.